Today on Legendary Tactics, we take a look at Yellow and Yangtze, a game by Reiner Knizia, famous for games like Ra and Tigris and Euphrates. Looking forward to this one. We're going to go over the tutorial, and we hope you'll join us here on Legendary Tactics. So we're going to take a quick look at this game. If you have played Tigris and Euphrates before, this game will seem very familiar. It's almost like I've heard it called a spiritual successor. It's almost just, I find a more, I don't know if polished is the right word, because Tigris and Euphrates was very good, but maybe more like an updated version of that game. And so you're going to recognize a lot of the mechanics here. Just going to, zip through you. And again, if you've played Tigris and Euphrates, you'll definitely, this will ring some bells for you pretty quickly here. But if you haven't played that game, because it is an older game, this is basically your leaders. You've got your governor, leader, soldier, farmer, trader, and artisan. Okay, and these are basically going to be attached to what they call states. Okay, and you can switch. You've got various tiles as well. You've got these are governor tiles, soldier tiles, artisan tiles. These match the leaders that are in play. And when you play a tile, it scores 1 point in its color for the player who has a matching leader in the same state. Okay, and you're going to learn about states in a sec. Okay, so we're going to place a governor tile. And a governor tile basically, basically sets up a state, and a leader can be placed in a space adjacent to a governor tile. So we're going to take the artisan leader and we're going to put it next to this governor tile. Okay, and we've now created a state. Whenever you have a leader and at least one tile, then you've got a state. Okay, and you get 2 actions per turn, and there's various things you can do. We'll be going over that. And after your turn is done, you get your hand of tiles refilled, and we go on to the next spot. So the artisan leader gives you the ability to score points when you play artisans to that state. So if you go here, if you watch, we get a point here. Okay, and this basically tracks the different kind of currencies in the game. And what's intriguing about this, and there are other games that have done this since, but Tigris and Euphrates pioneered this, your score is actually going to be whatever the lowest of these are. So if you can't go all in on one particular color and hope to dominate, you actually have to build a balanced civilization, which is a really neat mechanic. It played well in Tigris and Euphrates, and it'll play well here as well. So basically, in this tutorial, we just need to, score, 3 points, basically. So we need to, attach, let's say, a military leader to this particular state. And then we'll go back to here and we'll play a tile there. And that gives us the military point. Okay. And then we'll go for black. I think we can just go here and score our last point. And we need the leader there. Sorry, I apologize. So we'll go there and we'll drop the leader next door. And then we will play the governor, and that will give us the point there. So perfect. All right. So yes, so once you have a leader of that particular color and you play a tile next to it in that particular spot, then you get a point. So that's pretty straightforward. We're going to keep on moving to Pagodas. Now, in Tigris and Euphrates, you had the temples. There were 2 colors. In this, the game basically is similar but different in the sense that you can build a pagoda, but you just need 3 in basically a triangle shape or whatever. Also, each of the tiles have their own abilities. In Tigris and Euphrates, there wasn't that much difference between the tiles per se, other than the color. This one, they each have different abilities. One of the neat things is that farmer tiles can be played in river spaces, and can't be played on land spaces. So There's and there's also a neat ability that you can actually play any number of farmer tiles all in one go. So we'll just do that right now. And because we have the leader attached, we get that victory point, and we can just keep on placing because we have the ability here. And when you have the 3 together, you build a pagoda. And those give you 1 point every turn in that particular color, right? As long as you have a matching leader there, of course. So it's like a passive income kind of setup. Okay. Now we'll do the same thing for the soldier pagoda, and that obviously soldiers have to be, built on land. So we'll do this, and that's good. And we'll do that. Now we've run out of soldier tiles. We're 1 short. Okay, so we need to basically find the trader leader, and he's over here. Okay, so when you play one of these, this is a special ability of the traders, is that when you play a trader tile, you actually get to draw, if there's a bunch of tiles here that become like a market, and you can draw a tile that you want and need right to your hand. And so we'll now be able to play that to build the military pagoda as well. And that is, look at how many points we got in blue already, so that's pretty great. Okay, so now we just need to build another pagoda, and we can, I don't know, we'll just take another trader, I guess. The short scenarios don't allow much for strategizing, but that's okay. We're just illustrating how this works. So there is a trader pagoda, and that is obviously going to be a big point of contention when it comes to playing this game with other players, because there's going to be a lot of fighting over the pagodas, because they can actually be stolen from each other. If you have the most recent sort of triangle of tiles down, then you can actually steal an existing pagoda if there isn't one beside the board, if there isn't one available. So, all right. So this is where the ox player, in this case, just an AI for illustrative purposes, is going to compete with us. Okay, so we must have, as I said, this final score is the lowest value in one of the 4 main currencies. And in this, unlike Tigris and Euphrates, there's this golden currency which is wild, and so you can. It's a yellows are very valuable for that purpose. Okay, and there's also special abilities that can be used with certain leaders, right? The governor's ability is that it can score points for any tile played to its state as long as there's no enemy leader of that same color in its state. I think that's pretty similar to Tigris and Euphrates, but I can't remember. It's been a while since I've played that. So we're going to add an artisan tile to this here, and we will get the point because there is no other leaders there, and we have the governor tile or governor leader there. All right, the ox is going to take their turn right now and build the artisan right there. So we're going to build a pagoda. I think this is going to illustrate where things get stolen from us. We'll see if the ox lets that one stand, and builds 1 and 2, and there we go. And he claims that pagoda for his own. And that's something, the artisan pagodas can only have 1 on the map at any time. The other types have 2 of each type, and so these ones are a little more valuable, again, because it's a wild currency. So what we can do is we can go out and build a fresh pagoda and take that right back. So it's going to be a lot of back and forth with other players. This game is pretty vicious. I saw a review with Tom Vassell, and he said it's a pretty vicious game. There's a lot of back and forth and attacking and so forth, and we'll get into that as well. So the governor leader can score a tile of any color, except it can't score their pagodas. So we're going to play the artisan leader, so then we can actually get some points from that pagoda. And you can see it doesn't have to be attached to the pagoda, it just has to be part of the same state, and then it will get there. Now, one of the things you can do is you can plunk your own leader down on a state and compete for the ownership of that state. Now, the ox played a soldier leader to the state. It's important to remember you don't own a state. It's just the leaders contribute to that state, and they kind of give you control of that particular aspect of the state, but you don't actually own the state. So here in this particular state, we lead the artisans and the governors, but the ox guy, the ox soldier, heads up the soldiers. So it's not a problem yet, but it will be, right? So the governor will not score soldier tiles because there is an enemy leader there. Okay, so any soldiers placed will score for the ox leader instead. So let's get after it. Let's see what we can do about infiltrating his state there. So and now we're gonna score a couple of points there. So let's see if we can score a point there. And he's going to do that and build a pagoda. That's not good. All right, so we need to score a couple of points here. So let's put let's put in that leader down there, and we'll see what we can do about getting some points in that category. So now we can select a tile from market. We're going to build one of those markets, and he is going all in on the military. Jeez. Okay, so we're going to do that, which is great. And which one should we want? We want 2 points. If I'm not mistaken, we need 2 points in every category. So let's take a blue. Okay, and then we already have 2 points there. Let's place our blue leader down here. There we go, right there. And then we can get a couple points in the. Oh boy, building lots of lots of infrastructure over there. That's gonna be a problem. Okay, so let's take a look at our tiles here. We're gonna aim to get a few points here, and we've got 2 points there, 2 points there, and yeah, we can put down another one, I guess. Perfect. Okay. And we got to get 2 points. So we still need 2 points, 1 military point and 1 governor point. So that's going to be interesting. So we get points here. I believe we can't do that. So let's do this. What can we do? We got 1 action remaining. We'll build a pagoda for that, and we will take a military because we do need to score that point here soon. Jeez, going all in on. Oh, jeez, wow. Okay, and I'm gonna score another military point there, and all we need is the 2 governor points now. So let's see if we can get one there. And we're 1 action away from winning this one here. He's building quite the military there. And realistically, this is not a style of game that you would see that much. But there we go. So let's see how he did. Now you'll notice how his score is actually not going to be 19. It's going to be, let's see how this is scored. So the yellows get spread out evenly, and we end up with 5. Because that's our lowest score. He ends up with 1 because that's his lowest score. So that's the final score. And the ox focused way too much on the 1 dimension. Okay, so now we'll just get into conflicts. Okay, so revolts are internal conflicts. This is kind of when there's a leader versus leader kind of situation. Okay, so we're gonna basically challenge the. We got to find the governor leader up here, okay? And we have to challenge the ownership of the internal ownership of a state. So we're going to play some traders here so we can get some governor tiles from the market, kind of load up on those. These governor tiles get spent. If you think of it like a revolt, I mean, it's the governors of the region that are going to be the one to calm things down within an internal conflict or lead an internal conflict. So because each state can only have one leader of each color, as soon as I put this the same color leader down, it causes an internal battle. Okay, and the attacking and defending leaders, and this is just like a leader on leader kind of fight. They gain 1 strength for each governor tile adjacent to them. Okay, and then you can add more strength by throwing in some governor tiles from your hand. So if you look, there's 2 governor tiles here, and we're both adjacent to them. So the score is 2-2. We're going to throw in all 3 into the battle to make our score 5. And defenders win in a tie. So if he's got 3 or more, he can throw those tiles in, and he doesn't have it. So we boot his leader out of there, and basically we get a point in that color for that particular action. So we're going to compete in another battle here. So let's do this. All right, now we got some governor tiles. That's perfect. All right, we're gonna fight him. Oh boy, look at that. So that's pretty juicy. So we're gonna fight him with the military. So I think we're pretty confident. We're next to, he's next to 1, and I'm next to 2. If you see that, pagoda counts per hex. And so we've got the edge. We're going to throw in 3 governors, go all in on that. I doubt he will be able to compete. And we'll be all done here. And we have booted him out. So that's how an internal conflict works. So you can kind of, take control of a state by, at least getting the points. And it's always valuable when there's a pagoda there as well. You boot out the other leader, so you get those points. And now we're going to look at the big thing here, which are wars. Now, wars are whenever 2 states join, and then there's going to be a battle to decide which state, basically prevails. And when you've got a state joining with 2 of the same leaders, you'll see there's the 2 leaders here. We got in this state, we've got a military leader here, we got a military leader here, we got the greens as well. So this is going to be a big battle. So we're gonna build up the state for the coming war. I'm gonna build a pagoda. Why not? Okay, and that builds up a bit of my strength in advance. Okay, and all right, so now they are anticipating the move, so we need more soldiers. So one of the things is, as an action, you can replace any number of tiles in your hand with new ones. And since some of them are not soldiers, we're going to, replace basically all the ones that aren't soldiers. See if we can get lucky. Well, we got an extra one. So, all right. So that was for one action. Then we're going to join the 2 states together, and it is on. We are going on. We're going at it here. So the connecting tile, you'll notice it switched to this statue. It is not considered to be on either side of the war, does not contribute, does not score points. Okay, and you add up the number of soldier tiles in that state, and where it's 3-3 at the moment. And then each player can contribute soldier tiles from their hand to increase the strength of either side. So your opponent contributed 1 soldier, increasing its strength from 3 to 4. Okay, and so we need to contribute enough soldiers to win this one, and then we literally blow up the whole thing. So we win the conflict, and remember that it's between states, not players. And So it's a different kind of thing. It's basically, it'll blow up there's a lot of collateral damage here. Winning leaders score 1 point for each removed leader in their color, and you gain 1 green point and 1 military point since you control the leaders in the winning state. And all soldier tiles from the losing state are removed from the map. Then all the leaders in the losing state that were in conflict with the winning state, so in conflict meaning they are the same type, are also removed from the map. And so some cases the winning side may also lose soldier tiles if the strength of the losing side exceeds the number of soldier tiles contributed to the winning side. The winning side must suffer as many casualties by removing soldier tiles from the map. And you can track that on the display here. You can see -2, -3. So you can track that. We actually have to destroy 2 soldier tiles as part of the cost of the war. All right. So hopefully that made sense. You may need to kind of read that through or watch that bit through a couple times. I know it was a little bit tricky for me. Okay. So now we control. The 2 states have become 1, and now we control the state's trader pagoda, which is awesome. And so that's basically how a war works. And again, these are always, get smoother with more play. Don't expect to absorb everything all in one go. You gotta, like a lot of games, you have to just kind of pull the levers and see what works and see what doesn't. So these are going to be special actions. So that's how to cause revolts and wars. Now you can just trigger a peasants' riot if you want to just sow chaos among enemy lands. So if you have 2 farmer tiles in hands, you can use them to create a riot that just destroys a tile on the map. So for example, we're just going to destroy this tile here. So this one here, and you just click there and we click on the riot icon, and it just trashes the whole thing. And so because the leaders must be placed next to a governor tile, there are no other governor tiles next to the ox's trader leader, so he was forced to return it to his hand. So the old Tigris and Euphrates had those, I think they're called catastrophe tiles, which you could use to just kind of drop and block and that kind of thing. This is kind of a similar mechanic to that. And you can also remove pagodas from the map by just removing one of the tiles that forms the pagoda. You can spend an action and just trash a couple farmer tiles and in the peasants' riot and just blow up their pagoda. So pretty neat that way. And then they get revenge. So why not? And they're going to move back into that spot. So they removed the soldier pagoda there, but there is a special action using trader tiles. Okay, and this is again where all the special abilities of these tiles come into play. So you can reestablish their pagoda without needing to play a tile. So if the pagoda has been lost because of that, you just click there and you can rebuild the pagoda by just cashing in 2 trader tiles. So pretty straightforward stuff. Again, you'll need to play to learn how the interactions work. I'm going to be doing some playthroughs and likely some strategy guide as well, just to make sure people have a clear idea of how this works. And we're just about done. We're just going to chat about this last part about leader abilities. And it's foggy for whatever reason. So the governor leader adds 1 strength to your side of a revolt. The soldier leader can be used to add 1 strength to either side of a war. The farmer leader reduces the cost of the peasants' riot by 1 farmer tile. Again, these are they're special abilities that can be used. The trader leader reduces the cost to create a pagoda by 1 trader tile. And the wild card doesn't have any sort of special abilities, but obviously yellow is wild, and that's so if you've got a leader next to a yellow pagoda, for example, that's a good thing. So and you can always hover over the leaders to take a look at what they do. And the fog miraculously cleared, and some of the leaders are already at work. And what's going on here? They're starting a war. All right, so the ox has initiated a war between the two northern states. Okay, so we can drag the soldier leader. So just like you would drag a soldier tile, you can actually drag the leader, if he's in hand, to help out your side of the war. And we've got one soldier to contribute. It won't be enough in this case. But unlike revolts, the player that initiated the war decides the winning state in case of a tie. So we'll save the soldier for later, conserve our efforts, and he's going to boot us out there. So the winning state suffers one casualty since the strength of the losing state exceeded the number of soldiers contributed to the winning state by 1. So again, there's that same rule that I mentioned earlier. I hope you gathered that. You might need to read that again, but basically that's way that the price of the war essentially. And he's going to place a few farmers there. Okay, and so now as an action you can move a leader to your hand to any spot on the map. So you can actually you can pick up a leader if you want to. So let's pick up the governor leader, for example. All right, because we may need him to contribute to a revolt. So let's drag him back into our hand and reposition the trader leader, so you can just pick him up and move him over, and let's start a revolt here. Okay, so it's a 2-on-1, and we're going to drag the leader over here to help out. So just like you would drag over a tile, and then we really want to push it out of reach, so we're going to contribute a couple of governor tiles as well. It's going to be absolute domination, 5-1, and we win the revolt. So and we get the one trader point, the green point. And basically the game ends after the supply of tiles runs out, like Tigris and Euphrates, and a player attempts to draw a tile, and the highest score in the weakest color is the winner. So hopefully that little overview gave you a taste of Yellow in Yangtze, and hopefully you're going to check this out. It's a really neat game. As I said, it feels very much like a polishing or rethinking of Tigris and Euphrates, but there's some new new kind of moves, new dynamics, new interactions that you're going to want to explore. And so I hope this tutorial was of value to you, and more or less taught you how to play. Look forward to hearing your comments in the comments section below. And if you got some value, please like and please subscribe to our channel. And please come back again. We'd love to see you here. Thanks for watching. I'm NATO with Legendary Tactics.